All right. Good morning, everyone. I am Hearing Officer Cody Phillips with the Administrative Hearing Office of the State Water Resources Control Board. This is a pre-hearing conference in the matter of an administrative civil liability complaint issued against Rural Property Management LLC, Sunsets LLC, and Mr. Michael Zeyock. The public hearing in this matter will begin next Monday, December 8th, 2025 at 9 a.m. This pre-hearing conference is being conducted by Zoom webinar and is also being broadcast live on the AHO YouTube channel. Both the audio and video are being recorded, and we will post files of this recording along with the Zoom-generated transcript to the AHO FTP site. The YouTube recording will also be available on the AHO YouTube webpage. If at any time you're experiencing technical difficulties trying to communicate with us, please send an email to the AHO at adminhrgoffice@waterboards.ca.gov. AHO staff will be monitoring that email inbox. With me today are several staff of the Administrative Hearings Office, including Nicole Mullen, Skylar Anderson, Kyle Wooldridge, Rebecca Stolfus, and Sam Bivens. With that, I'd like to move on to appearances, and I'll start with the prosecution team. If you could raise your hand so we can raise you into a panelist. All right. Mr. Lewis.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Phillips. Patrick Lewis for the Division of Water Rights Prosecution Team. I have with me today prosecution team staff Tara Morano, as well as our acting assistant deputy director Roberto Cervantes, who I believe will be joining shortly.
Great. Okay, and then for the respondents.
Good morning. This is Mark Harris for the respondent. Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. And I do apologize for the large bruise on my face. I went surfing this weekend and had an unfortunate encounter with a large rock.
Well, I hope you're feeling all right. And yeah, happy Thanksgiving, I guess. Is there anyone else who intends to participate today who has not been identified?
Yes, Mr. Phillips, I have an emergency and medical appointment at 10:50. If this meeting does go longer than 10:20, I will need my co-chair, Andrew Tarianen, to join and take my place.
Okay, are they in this Zoom webinar now?
I did provide them with the invite, so Mr. Tarianen should be joining or available.
Okay, this is probably not going to go all the way till 10:20, but if we do get to that point, then we'll welcome Mr. Tarian in and promote him to a panelist as well.
Thank you.
So I'd like to move on to the short agenda I have addressed today. First, I'd like to address what the general facts in dispute in this proceeding, and then go over the joint pre-hearing conference statements as well as some procedural issues. So starting with facts actually in dispute, it looks like respondents did not submit exhibits or testimony by the deadline in the notice of hearing and pre-hearing conference, and that deadline was November 13th, 2025. So I'd like to better understand the nature of respondents' arguments and whether there are actually any facts in dispute, considering the lack of exhibits or testimony uploaded. Mr. Harris.
Yes, good morning. Your Honor, what we did is many of the facts are not in dispute. My client is a absentee landowner. He's lived out of the country for the better part of a quarter century. He inherited many of these things from the prior owner of the LLC. Having said that, what I would indicate to the court is that we have reached, and maybe we should short circuit this by letting you know that we've reached a resolution in the matter, that the property's actually been sold. Escrow closed last week. Myself and Mr. Lewis have worked with all the agency folks to craft a resolution. I don't know if the court wants to hear about that, or the judge wants to hear about that now, or want to continue going forward with the
Well,
normal procedural.
yeah, I'd like to. I don't want to hear the details about the settlement, if there is, but it sounds like. Let me just clarify: is the settlement agreement finished? Or is it still being worked on? No, in the pre-notice of the pre-hearing conference statement, it seemed like the parties were close to reaching a settlement in principle prior to the hearing date. I just want to know if it's actually been met or still in discussion.
Yeah, I can speak to that, Mr. Phillips. So we have a settlement in principle as of this morning. I was able to confer with Mr. Harris, and our clients agree on terms that we can settle. It's more or less at this point ironing out very minute detail, such as payment structure, and then we'll be able to submit a proposed administrative civil liability order to adopt a settlement agreement.
And in the meantime, we could also, at this point, depending on how the court wants me to do it, we'd go ahead and withdraw our request for a hearing, since that's a week away.
Yeah, that seems to make sense. If we could take the hearing off the calendar, you can proceed with the settlements in that way. I think that all works. Um, yeah, I I think if you can please make that request to take the hearing off the calendar, I think that would make sense.
We can do that, and then just guidance wise, I'm wondering, I'm proposing, I guess that Mr. Lewis and myself would enter into an agreed stipulation with a proposed order or something along those lines, and submit that to the hearing office as well.
Yeah, yes, I think an agreed stipulation with the proposed order, that also would make sense. See, let's see, the deadline for the hearing is next Monday. We have a deadline in the pre-hearing conference of, uh, sorry, for filing closing briefs to be December 19th. So let's set a deadline to file that proposed order and the agreement by December 20th. Just want to make sure that should work for everybody considering the schedule has worked previously. But yeah, December 20th as the deadline.
Very well.
The prosecution team can make that work, Mr. Phillips. And I can circle back with Mr. Harris and we can discuss, process for making that happen and meeting that deadline. But I don't see that being an obstacle on the prosecution side.
Great. And sorry, I do want to clarify, is this a proposed order? Mr. Harris, you said you were going to submit a proposed order. Is this a settlement agreement?
So it would be a settlement agreement and we would be following the procedures as the Administrative Hearings Office has set those out for the Office of Enforcement in order to seek resolution of complaints via proposed order and settlement agreement. So essentially, I have the direction that the Administrative Hearings Office has provided on, what to provide and how to do so. And I will share that with Mr. Harris as well.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Okay, well, if everything seems to be going in order, so it seems like we can actually wrap this up fairly quick. Mr. Lewis, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But before we do, I want to check to
Can I
see if
speak
there's
one more
no
point of
issues.
clarification first, just before
Yes.
we move on, Mr. Phillips? Is Mr. Harris's verbal request to withdraw the hearing request sufficient, or does the Administrative Hearings Office need that in writing?
I would like to have it in writing. So yeah, please just send that in as soon as you're able to.
I'll do
And
it
it
this,
can be as simple as an email, but I would just like to have something in writing.
fair enough. I'll do that this morning, right after the hearing.
Thank you. Are there any other issues, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Harris?
The prosecution team has no other issues.
The same, we're fine, Your Honor.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time coming in today. And just a reminder, Mr. Harris, please get that email in today. And by December 20th, Mr. Lewis, if we could have everything else kind of squared away, that would be great.
Excellent.
And with that, I can adjourn. Thank you all.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much. All right.